make you think that I should calm down, and that I'm overthinking everything about you, and that we're good the way we are.
Hi, welcome back to Cindy's Little House. Today I'm going to have a new video, and this video is going to be a shopping video. So if you don't like shopping videos, there may be some other stuff on here too, but so far I have got to go and look at the Christmas items. I know what I've got out in my shed, and I just want to add a few things, and so I want to see what they have. I went to Walmart not long ago to look for their, what is it called, My Texas House items. They did not have them in. We live out in the country. They don't usually get their stuff in early as if you live a little more in the city. So anyway, I'm going to go and see if Walmart has that. And I want to go to Target Dollar Spot. I heard they got out some of their Dollar Spot stuff, and I want to check that out. And then I would love to go by Ross while I'm over by Target because they're kind of together. And I'm not sure where else I'll go. I was going to do the Hobby Lobby, but I've seen so many videos on Hobby Lobby. I kind of already feel like I know what they have. And these other places, I'm not sure what they have. So if I get a chance, though, I will go there, or maybe even Michael's. It seems like not as many people are showing what's at Michael's as they do what's at Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby is so much fuller and, 40%, 50% off and all that. But I think My Texas House is probably going to have what I really want, but we will see. Anyway, so far that's what we've got today. I had a doctor's appointment this morning, so I'm already dressed and ready to go somewhere. So it kind of worked out for me that I could go and do these errands. And my mom, of course, has a list for Walmart for me to get her some stuff. So I'm going to get her stuff while I'm there. But mainly Texas, I can't even remember the name of it. Texas House. Wait. Anyway, I'm going to go and look at that stuff first. So let's head on over there. So I'm starting at Walmart, and no, they do not have My Texas House items yet. They are getting things slowly out, and their paper, though, I was looking at their paper. The Christmas paper is so pretty, but I believe I looked out in the shed, and I had already bought paper last year. I got some that had toy soldiers on it. I believe that's what, or nutcrackers, whatever you want to call it, on it. But these are really, really pretty sets that they had in there. Great prices, anywhere from $5.96 around in there to $9.99, depending on what you were getting. But even the big rolls were, $6. So I think that's a really good price. And these bows were gorgeous. They are to put on the present, but you know what? Those were really pretty to put on a present. And they weren't expensive, but they weren't that cheap either. So I probably wouldn't do that on like every present or whatever, but if you were going to make something a little bit nicer, that would be nice. And these are the big, huge rolls that I was talking about. I love these. That is so pretty. And, of course, this year, bows are the thing. Bows are so big this year for Christmas, depending on what color you want. They have pinks and reds, greens, all kind of bows. And this is the Feel Real. But this was kind of expensive. That was like $34, and it was Walmart brand. I was looking for My Texas House brand because it's a 6-foot garland. I can't remember how much it was. It might have been about the same, but anyway, that was what I was looking for, and they didn't have it. But I love these too, and they were a good price. They were like $8.77 for these little 11-inch mini wreaths. Those are so cute on the back of chairs. And then they had these big wreaths that had the real feel to them, and they were really pretty. But a good bit, if you've already got some, and I already have some, I'm not even going to be looking at those. And anyway, another thing I saw in there that actually I haven't seen before, they're called the bow decor, like to go on a gift. And look at this thing. This is beautiful. To me, it would be great to put on a wreath to, for the bow on the wreath. It would be great for that. Also, it would look so good on the mailbox. It was, it already had everything on it, including the bow. And this one was prettier than it looked. It was just a little bit smushed because it was up there in that box. But I do like this one better. And the price was so good. It was like five something. I don't know, but that's a good price. I'm telling you, I almost could not make it for that. And so being all put together and already having the back on it where you could just hang it to something. See, $5.97, like that is a really good price. That was the only two different ones I saw though. And this is the garland that has the real feel to it also. I can't remember the price on this. I can't remember if I even looked at the price. I think it was about the same, 30 something. But I'm going to have to go back when they have my Texas house out. I do not know why they didn't have it out yet, but they didn't. And then here's the ones that had the snow on it, and they were pretty. But then also these were so cute. I love these little nutcrackers. They were just so cute. But now I don't go with that color, but if you did have that color in any part of your house, I just love that. It was so pretty, and it was super tall. And then of course I got over here in the ornaments and kind of just went crazy. There were so many adorable ones. These were huge. You would not have to have very many of these to fill up a small tree for sure. And this would be so cute in a kitchen. I do this in my kitchen. The all kind of little gingerbread and all that, and I'll probably still do that in my kitchen again this year. I try to change things up, but when it comes to gingerbread men and all that, it just looks so cute in a kitchen. But and then they had some bow ornaments up here that they're little gingerbread girls and boys. And that would be so cute if you made like a garland out of that. I was thinking that when I saw it. And these ornaments right here that look like cookies, I could not resist these. I ended up getting one of each, and you'll see in my haul at the end. But I love these. These look just like a cookie. And I have an idea for them, and so I went ahead and grabbed 4 of them. Most of the time when I'm decorating something, I usually get like in 3s, but with this I was like, okay, I want one of each of the styles. And anyway, I got those, and I love those. And then they had this area that was a lot of blues and silvers and white and iridescents, and this was so pretty. And by the way, that ball was glass and heavy. So these $2.14 items here are definitely worth the money, because these were really nice. They were not just, they were really nice ones. They weren't big old plasticky things. They were really nice. So anyway, I like the little elephant, and I like the ball, and these picks were adorable. These would be so cute. Picks, don't sleep on picks, because picks can dress up your old things. It can dress up your old garland, and you do not have to spend a lot of money, because picks are not very expensive, especially at Walmart.
Actually, their picks, I would say, have the best price. Even when you're getting 40% off over at Hobby Lobby, to me, Walmart still has a better price. So just don't sleep on the picks. And also, you can use these, and I love that one. That was a felt ornament. You can use these ornaments in between your old garland also and dress it up and make it new to whatever style you want. And you wouldn't have to put that many in there to make it pop and cute. And I do stuff like that all the time. I'll buy new stuff, but not a lot of new stuff, just a few things to add to things. And I'll take things apart and make them different. And by the way, I have one of those trees already, so I did not even need to be picking that up. And they had these bows too, these little satin bows that you could do a lot with. You could put them on your tree. You could make garland out of them. They were just really cute. And then, of course, I got over here and they had these Disney items. I just went crazy for these. These were so, so cute. At this point, I don't think I want a whole collection of things like this, but maybe one day I might, but at this point I didn't. And they also had other collections, the Grinch, and I can't remember what the other one was, but I love the Disney, of course. We're crazy about Disney, and just coming home from Disney, we're, Disney crazy anyway. And these picks are such a good value. I think they were like, that one right there, the white one, that was like, it felt real. And those I think would be great even in January if you wanted to use them, or even come February with your Valentine's stuff, because that white was just so pretty. It would go with everything. But they had a lot of different picks. It was really hard to, and those $5 picks up there were like huge picks. They weren't just a little pick. And this little thing I'm holding up, that's something you put on the top of your Christmas tree, and you put the picks in them so they hang out of them. If you're making a tree thing at the top instead of putting like a star up there. And these were all this area was gorgeous. There were so many nativities. They had a very good variety of nativities, and this was a nativity nesting, the wood nesting things, and those were so cute. They had the cross, they had the Oh Holy Night, and I do not need any of this. I bought a good bit of this last year, not this, but some other ones, and so I did not need any of this. But at the bottom, there's some more nativity. Those are all set up, ready to go ones. But this one right here is one that I wanted because it was a soft one, and to me that would be so cute under your Christmas tree, or even on your Christmas tree as an ornament. And I love this little pink tree. I have a little pink area that I do in my kitchen, and that would be really cute with that. And these bows, you've probably seen these bows on other people's that have been shopping on YouTube, and that bow was a nice bow. It was not like, chintzy. It was a good bow. I'm glad I got to see it in person. And then all of these little gingerbread houses were adorable. They had so many different prices. These were like $7 in the almost $8 category, but these were substantial. They were not like tiny. They were a good size. They were not as big as the one I have, but they were big enough that you could put 2 or 3 around and it would be like a village. And then they had the brown ones that look super real. And then over here, I love these. These were the wooden houses. I was very tempted to get some of these, but I do not need these. I already have some houses. And but I was very tempted to get them, and they would look so cute with little lights in them to me. And then the ones with the red, I do have one that has red on it, and it looks a lot like the one that I have. but those were a good price. And they had this little fox. He's so cute. And they had the big Mary sign, and they had this just very unusual tree. It was kind of expensive in my opinion, but you know, breakable things, and it was like what, $13-14. I thought, no. But they had some really, really cute items, and I love this. I'm glad I saw this in person because I didn't think that much about it online, but it was a really, really pretty candle holder. It really was. And they had lots of different houses. I mean, they were everywhere. These were very cute. I love these. I think these already had the light in them. You could light up. And then they had these little trees that could go with it. And then I saw these little Santa boots. Those things were huge, but they were expensive. I can't remember exactly how much. I'm going to say $27. But they had a couple of Santa boots. I'll show another one in a minute. But then they had these little tiny statues, and then they had these pretty little what do you call those? Arrangements. And then they had these Santa boots, which I love. You could not put that outside, by the way, because it was made out of felt. A lot of felt, but heavy duty. And now I'm at Target, actually. And these were in the Target dollar spot. I wasn't impressed with those, by the way. They look like they would get dirty very easy. Now, I like these, the hangers that hang the stockings on there. And I think these stockings would have been okay if they'd been made out of something else. But to me, it looks like, it looks like it would get dirty very easy, and stuff would attach itself, very easy to it. So I wasn't impressed with those. But I did like these too. The little wooden stocking holders were very cute. If you had a few houses of those, that'd be so cute. And this little guy, he was on a surfboard. I thought that was kind of funny. But these are the little dollar things that you get up there, and the little poodle. I don't know why a poodle was in with the Christmas, but it was. Maybe poodles are going to be kind of like bows. They're new this year. And then they had a bunch of flocked ornaments that were nice. It looks so picked over, though, in this area, this dollar area. Now, I don't know if it was picked over or just not put out yet. It's very possible it couldn't have put out yet. They had these little arrangements, and they were like $5 each. I do not think those are worth $5 each. They should have been $3 each, but that's just my opinion. And then these towels, I actually ended up getting these. They have the Christmas trees on them, and they're just plain white, and it was 2 for $5, which I didn't think was a bad price. And those looked a little circusy to me. I just wasn't really into that red stripe. And now I'm actually at Ross, as you can see. These 2 packs of towels the hand towels were $11.99. Great price. These were very good quality, very thick, nice towels to hang in the bathroom for decor. And they just had every kind you could imagine, all kinds of different things. And the trees, I love the trees. I'm thinking about going back and getting those trees. But anyway, they had just so many different styles and different colors. Like they had this pink with the snowflake. They had the pink down there. They had some more white ones that had trains on them. They just had the cutest ones, and there's a deer on that one. There was just so many different ones, and this one was so pretty. I was tempted to get that one too. That snowflake one I thought was so pretty. I did put it in my cart, but I did put it back. I ended up not going with it. And then this is a different deer one. So if you got deers, there's lots to choose from. But they just had so many beautiful ones. And look at that green one. Oh, I love the green. And then they had them in red. And now these are the pillows. This pillow was kind of giving me some trouble. It kept not wanting to stay up there. I thought this was super cute though. And then yeah, it ended up giving me too much trouble. I was like, forget that pillow. And then they had these pillows, and this one was very pretty. It's not my style, but I loved it. It was a gorgeous pillow. And the prices, now this is my style. I really, really like that one, but I was like, I do not need any pillows. I need pillow covers only. And this one was so, so gorgeous. I love that one. And then when I started looking at it's so hard when you start looking at all these items. You just want to get everything. But these were a great price. Like, I think they were anywhere from $7.99 to $11.99. And beautiful shower curtains. I just thought all of them were really nice. This one had Christmas trees on it. And they had any color you want. Some with green, some with red, some with pink. That one was $11.99, but some were $7.99. But I like this one with the trees and the nutcrackers. That one was probably one of my favorites. I thought that was so pretty. And then the pink, love all the pink ones. Then of course Ross has to have houses too, but they're not going to look the same as everybody else's. So they had solid white, which were gorgeous, but they were a little more expensive than some other places. $12.99, but like not that bad, but you know, a little bit more expensive. And that little sleigh was beautiful. And their gingerbread houses were gorgeous. And I can't remember, I think one was $19.99. I don't remember how much the other one was. And then this little box I'm picking up had 3 of the houses in it. Looked like Paris or something. It's so cute. Would look so cute in a little girl's room, to tell you the truth. Or if you just had a pink area in your house. $19.99 for 3 of them, and they light up. And then this crystal tree was so pretty. And it would fit anywhere, $9.99. These 2 arrangements were gorgeous, but to me, that was expensive. $16, no, I'm not going to spend $16. And then they had a bunch of little small trees and more arrangements. These arrangements weren't as bad, $7.99, but still, you know, they were not very big. And these were gorgeous tree skirts. I mean, they were so pretty, all of them. Every one of them I saw that they had were just really nice. I believe they were anywhere from $19.99 to $24.99, depending on the elaborate of it, you know. And then these hand towels, they just had the prettiest towels. And these, I think these are more like a tea towel. But they were all really pretty. And I picked this one up. I ended up not getting it, but that is kind of my style. But I ended up putting it back. I was like, I do not need this. I know I have some of these. So I've got to look through my stash before I buy anything else. The cardinal was gorgeous. And these were like $5.99. 2 for $5.99. It was a really good price. Especially since they were not just plain. They were very, they had so many of these, and most of them had, you know, work on them, bead work and stuff. And that was just little trees. They had one of these in this cream colored with the soldiers on it, and then, or nutcrackers, and then they had a red one also. And then these were just the most gorgeous stockings. I love these stockings. Either stocking was, and they had 2 in the pack for $19.99. So that wasn't too bad of a price, because they were not just plain. They were very, very nice. And then these were the blankets I looked at. All the blankets were just so soft, so pretty. I love all their blankets. Ross always has pretty good deals on their blankets. And then this was a Mrs. Claus, and she was really gorgeous. And then they had a lot of outdoor items, or items you could use outdoors. You could use these indoors too. They were pricey, but I'm going to say if you priced them next to another item that was similar to that at another store, they probably weren't pricey. And these sheets were great prices. All these sheets, they were like $20 and I would say $17.99 up to $17.99 up to $20. And the little dogs were $17.99. And it depends on the size, because that was a queen size and the other ones were king size, so they're going to be more anyway. But I thought that was a good price. And of course they had candles galore, and look at that candle. It was like gorgeous. And the candles were, anywhere from $3.99 to $6.99.
I got you, and you got me too. We can always make it through.
Okay, I'm going to show you what I got from my haul. I got this little ornament. This all came from Walmart. And these were I believe they were $2.14. That's another one. They look like cookies. And that's another one. And that's another one. So cute. And then I got these picks. Now, they didn't have any of what I was looking for, but I got what they had that, it was what I was looking for, but it wasn't the biggest thing I was looking for. I guess that's what I meant to say. Okay, I got these picks. These are those Feel Real picks, and these were very inexpensive. I think these were $1 and something. So I got like 4 of them, which if you pull them out, they would probably make a good little arrangement. I'm pulling it to show you how big it gets. Like that's just one, and I got 4 of them, so you can imagine them being pulled out. That would make a lot. So that's why I got those. Then when I went to Target, I got these 2 for, I think this was, 2 for $5. If you look really close, you can see the Christmas trees. And there's the Christmas trees. So this 2 for $5. You can barely see them, but my bathrooms are white and gray, so that works out for my bathroom. This little mat, I wanted to get this last year, and they didn't have any more, and they had them again this year. These are the $5 ones, so they're a little bit smaller than like your normal size, but if you put one of those the rag rugs under it, which I do that, or even one of those black ones under it would be really pretty. The black, that you normally have out there, or the rubber black. But anyway, this is so cute for $5. Like, that's a good price. The bigger ones are like $12, but they're no different. They're not that much bigger. So anyway, that's all I got in my haul. I wish I could have found more, but I don't know. They're putting stuff out so slow at Walmart.
You can say I lost my mind. I will keep on holding my head high, even if the sky is falling down.
So when I got home, I decided, you know what, I'm going to clean my kitchen really good because I want to do a project in here. I have been wanting to paint my baseboards in here since we painted the cabinets. I should have done it when we did the cabinets, but that was one of those things where you're just trying to get one thing done at a time, and that was probably good because we didn't rush it. So now I'm just going to get it really clean in here, and after I get it really clean in here, then I'm going to get prepared to paint the baseboards.
If I never figure out where the road goes, even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind. I will keep on holding my head high, even if the sky is falling down. Even if the sky is falling down, yeah. The sky is falling down. Even if the sky is falling down, even if the sky is falling down, yeah. The sky is falling down.
Took a bite, and now I'm filled up. I don't know where you are tonight. 'Cause you're right, I've been starving and now I don't know what to do tonight. But I've been feeling like you're pretty easy to like. When your body is closer to mine, you got me feeling like there's no one other than you who can make me lose my mind. You start me up like no one has ever could. You fuel my fire. What are the odds we end up loving this? Spending every minute together. I found it quite odd, quite lovely. You start me up like no one has ever could. You fuel my fire. I took a bite, and now I need more. I don't know how to make this right. 'Cause you're right, yeah, you're right. We are going too fast, but no, I don't know how to stop. But I've been feeling like you're pretty easy to like. When your body is closer to mine.
So I took up all the mats and washed them, the carpet mats, and they needed to get out of the way anyway for me to paint. And so I'm just gonna sweep really, really good and vacuum and mop. That way I can start putting the tape down and getting it ready to paint. I cannot wait to get the baseboards painted. I have painted some areas of the baseboards in the past, like wherever I don't paint today is because it already got painted. Because I know I painted, I'm trying to think, over by my coffee station and all that. When I painted inside my pantry, I went ahead and painted that area. Because sometimes when you're painting other areas, you're like, oh, I can just do this real quick too, right? So that's what I did. But anyway, you'll see when I tape off what I'm going to end up painting. And in some areas over by where my garbage cans are and my back door, it seems like they always get painted when the other stuff gets painted. So they get painted a lot. So I'm just going to go ahead and start painting them, and I love the way it looks afterwards. Even if no one else notices, I notice. And I check mark another home project off my list.
I'll try this a new way. I'm gonna show you the tricks that I know. I'm getting tired of talking, and I need more of a show right now. It's time that you made your mind up, 'cause lately all it ever does is change. Feels like we're only talking, going round and around, back around. I will fight like no other every day. I won't stop like the others. I will stay. 'Cause now is the right time, and I'm feeling alright. I'm playing your game like I know I can win right now. You got me up tonight, 'cause loving you is like I'm walking a tightrope so high. I won't be turning around. No, I won't be turning around. It's the right time. You feeling alright? I'm playing your game like I will win tonight. I think I'll do it on my way. I'm gonna show you what I'm going through. Get you out of your comfort zone, 'cause I need more of the truth right now. It's time that you made your mind up, 'cause lately all it ever does is change. Feels like we're only talking, going round and around, back around. I will fight like no other every day.
So here on YouTube, I always see people painting without putting tape down or anything down on the floor. I cannot do that. I don't know how they do that. I'm messier than that and not on purpose, but I just had to wipe up a spot just now. Sometimes you can just let it dry and it'll come up real easy, but if it's just a little bit of something, I wash it up right away. So anyway, I do not know how they do it. I see them on there and I think, is there stuff on the floor and they just get it off later, or are they just that good? I'm not that good. I have to tape everything up, and I need these pieces of cardboard to keep me straight. And I try to keep my paint. My paint is right there on another piece of cardboard because I don't want to be moving around the one that I have and have to move the other one around at the same time just in case I trip up, you know. So as careful as I can be. You know, accidents happen, but I try to be as careful as I can be. And I normally even have some kind of plastic on the floor too. But I knew I didn't need it for the just the baseboards. You know, if I was painting the walls, yes. But just the baseboards, not so bad. And this is just turned out so much better. And nobody can ever say I'm not taking care of my house because I'm trying as hard as I can.
Perfect lips got me rushing, panning. I'm so lit, like lilies you open. The fragrance goes to my head, my darling. I get everything that has been. Don't matter no more. We've burned it. All those whirlwinds can't touch us no more.
So this is my last thing for today, and here are the results. Thank you for coming to my channel, and if you like these kind of videos, like and subscribe, and come back and check out what's going on at Cindy's Little House. Thank you again.